Hello there, my name is Solmaz, and you're listening to Tabling Thoughts podcast. In this podcast, I talk about my experiences as a relationship coach and psychotherapist. The little things that I noticed in my clients' day to day lives, which may affect the quality of their lives and relationships enormously, and for some reasons, they don't pay that much of attention to them. As I mentioned, I'm a relationship coach and I also practice as a psychotherapist in Ontario, Canada. In order to get more information about me, you may check my Instagram account, YouTube, or my other podcasts via the links in description. You are listening to episode number 38 of Tabling Thoughts podcast, and we are going to continue the discussion about closeness versus codependence. In our last episode, we opened up the conversation about closeness versus codependence when love feels like obligation. We explored how, on the outside, both can look very similar: devotion, loyalty, sacrifice. But on the inside, the emotional experience is completely different. Closeness nourishes you, while codependence quietly drains you. Today, we are picking up right where we left off. In this episode, we are going to go a little deeper. We will talk about what happens when those blurred lines show up in real life, in our relationships, in our families, and even in our workplaces. We will look at the subtle ways codependence can creep in and disguise itself as love. And we will get clearer on what true closeness actually feels like. So, if you have ever caught yourself asking, am I saying yes because I want to, or because I'm afraid of what will happen if I say no? This part of conversation is for you. On the outside, closeness and obligation can look very similar. Both might involve you being present, you showing up, you giving your time, your attention, your heart. But deep inside, they feel completely different. One leaves you nourished, the other leaves you exhausted. One leaves you safe, seen, and supported, and the other makes you feel anxious, guilty, and trapped. This is such a common experience, especially for people like us. People who come from immigrant families, women who have been raised to put others first, high achievers who were taught their value is measured by how much they do for others. If you belong to any of these groups, you might have been praised your whole life for over functioning. You might have been told that your worth is tied to how much you give, how well you sacrifice, and how often you silence your own needs so that others can be comfortable. And because of that, it's easy to mistake codependence for closeness. Let me paint a picture. You are in a relationship and your partner asks you to cancel your plans because they're having a bad day. You sigh, you give in, you stay home. You tell yourself it's because you're close, because you care. That's what good partners do. But deep down, you feel like a twinge of resentment. You know you wanted something different for yourself. You know you said yes, not because you wanted to, but because you felt obligated. That's the difference. Or maybe it's with family. Your parents call. And before you even answer the phone, you already know that they want help, advice, emotional labor, money, support, or simply they want to vent. And you give it every time without pausing. And on the surface, people might look at you and say, wow, you are such a close knit family, but you know the truth. It doesn't always feel like closeness. Sometimes it feels like a burden. Sometimes it feels like if you stop giving, the whole relationship might collapse. Or maybe it's at work. High achievers fall into this trap constantly. You are the dependable one, the one who never says no, the one who takes on extra tasks, stays late, pick up the pieces, and everyone praises you for being reliable, for being a team player. But when you are honest with yourself, you know you're running on empty. You know that what looks like dedication is actually obligation. What looks like connection is actually codependence. But my friends, closeness and codependence are not the same. As I told you earlier, closeness is mutual. Closeness nurtures both people. Closeness permits everyone to go for their individuality, for differences, for saying no without fear. On the other side, codependence drains. It traps, it silences, it convinces you that love is about erasing yourself so someone else can be comfortable. And let me just pause and acknowledge. If this feels familiar, you're not alone. Many of us grew up believing that if we said no, we were selfish. That if we put ourselves first, we were unloving, that our role was to fix, to carry, to hold everything together. So we learn to equate closeness with obligation. We confuse being indispensable with being loved. Now I want you to sit with this question. I want you to look at your relationships, romantic, familial, friendships, or even professional, and ask yourself, am I choosing closeness or am I carrying obligation? Am I in a space where I can breathe or in a space where I'm holding my breath to keep the peace? Because here is the theme we are going to unpack together in this episode. Closeness nurtures, nourishes, but codependence drains. I will repeat this sentence several times because I know closeness makes room for your authentic self, but codependence erases it. Closeness grows both people together stronger, but codependence keeps one person small to the other so the other can stay big. And the distinction, my friends, is life changing. That's the difference between a relationship that sustains you and one that depletes you. That the difference is between a connection that feels like love and a connection that feels like obligation. As we wrap up this part of the series, I want you to sit with this reflection. Notice the moments in your week when connection feels light and nourishing versus when it feels heavy and depleting. That awareness is the first step towards untangling closeness from codependence. And in the next episode, we are going to get very clear. We will define what closeness really is, what codependence really looks like, and highlight the key differences that can help you recognize them in your own life. So, till next episode, sit with your reflections, my friends.